Hey guys, welcome to Christina Cakes It. I'm Christina and today I'm showing you how I made this adorable bunny cake. So Easter is coming up and there are so many cute cakes to be made, and I definitely have made a handful of Easter cakes for my channel already, but I have yet to make a bunny cake, which is actually funny because when I was little I was obsessed with this like bunny sweater that I had, and I always wanted to wear it every day, and I even wore it in my kindergarten school picture. And another fun fact, I was also a bunny at least 2 years in a row for Halloween, if not 3. So I definitely love bunnies and I want to show you guys how to make this cake. As with almost every episode, I already have a cake ready to go. So this is a 4-layer vanilla cake, 6 inches, so 4-layer 6-inch cake that's been frosted, as you can see. My bunny is going to be white, but I also thought it would be cool to do a gray bunny, so that would be like an alternative. Another thing to note is you definitely want to make your bunny ears ahead of time because you do want them to harden so that they stick straight up. So these ears were made 2 days ago to dry, but I will show you guys how I did this. So I just have some of my homemade marshmallow fondant with my own recipe. And I'm actually going to make my ears like 2 layers because I have a cake pop stick that's like sandwiched in between. And you want these like medium thickness. Like you don't want them too thin by any means because you want them to be able to like dry and harden and stand up. And if they're too thin, they might just break. So I made a template, shocker. You guys know that I have to have a template whenever I use fondant pieces. I just like to do that because I always like to make sure that I'm gonna like the sizing. I've seen people freehand these, but I am just not that type of person. So I'm gonna make 2 ears, well, 2 layers. This is actually for 1 ear. And I'm going to place a cake pop stick about halfway up. And I'm just going to paint a little bit of dab and hold. And I'm just going to take my other layer and place it on top. And I can see there's like a little bit of the bottom layer that's like sticking out. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. Fondant tends to stretch a little bit, like when you move it. So that's why if you cut a shape, it might like be a little bit altered just with like the marshmallow stretching. Okay, so we have the base of our ear here, but of course we have to add a little bit of pink. So this is just a little bit of my marshmallow fondant that I dyed with AmeriColor Soft Pink. That's like probably my favorite food coloring color. I use the soft pink a lot. And this pink, it actually can be pretty thin. We don't want it too heavy as it lays on top of here. And this is soft enough, I can see it's just gonna stick right to the white. If it wasn't sticking, I would just use a little dab and hold, but this will be fine. So ta-da, we have our bunny ear here. Very cute. You could even make it like flop over a little bit. So the key is you definitely have to make these ears ahead of time, at least a day to dry. Like you would dry them on one side and you'll feel it harden, like you can feel it get hard, and you actually do flip them over for several hours to dry the other side. Because when you dry them flat, like the moisture stays, like if it's against here, like that back's not gonna dry, you have to flip it over. So obviously you're gonna make 2 ears ahead of time. So I do want to work on my other bunny features. So I'm gonna work on my bunny's nose. So I wasn't exactly sure the size that I was gonna like, so I made a few different sizes to kind of like test it out. You're gonna see that when I'm not using my fondant, I am trying to keep it covered up with plastic wrap because it does tend to dry out. So I'm gonna work on the bunny's eyes. So I find when I need like very small circles of fondant, I just use like a small piping tip, like a small round piping tip. I do that all the time. And this bunny definitely needs paws. Like I feel like that's what they're known for. Like they're really cute, like little, like thumper. So now that we have all of our fondant pieces prepped, we are going to start placing them on the cake. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start placing my fondant pieces where I think they're gonna look good. And I am using Wilton Dab and Hold to adhere these pieces, as I always do. So I'm gonna start with the nose, and I'm just going to paint a little bit on the back. So I'm definitely gonna carefully paint some eyelashes onto my bunny with Americolor Super Black and just a really fine paintbrush. And this part always makes me the most nervous. Then I'm gonna use a little bit of powdered food coloring to just paint some color on the cheeks. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I love to do this. I feel like it just adds like a really cute touch of color. It always makes like the cakes look so girly. This bunny is like heavy on a little thick on the blush. That's okay. So I am gonna place the ears. I might take them off, but I do wanna figure out where they're gonna go. But I'm gonna add like some flowers on top of this. So let's see. So I'm carefully inserting these into the cake. Even though they're dry, they're still fragile. So our bunny's really looking cute, but I feel like he needs a lot of different colors. So I'm gonna add just like some buttercream flowers and swirls on the top, just with various tips and obviously some pastel color. So I'm gonna start with my 2D and I'm just gonna kind of make this random. I always like to start in the back. So I'm just gonna take some white buttercream, and this is actually in a Teco 846, and I'm just going to make a big cotton tail in the back. Super cute. All right, so my bunny cake is done, and I love how it turned out. I think it's just like so perfect for any Easter celebration. And I hope that you guys enjoyed watching me make this bunny cake, and I hope that you guys try it also. And if you did like this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.